Well, after the last video when I bought this Energizer headlamp, it's an LED version with a supposedly 450 lumens. It's got 7 modes, and as you can see there, you're supposed to get 2.75 hours and 85 meters of light throw distance. I was not really very happy with it, so I thought I would try this one since it was cheap, and took a punt and bought this one. And I actually think this one is far superior. It's only got 5 modes, though to be fair, how many modes do you need? You can do slightly more hours, 3, and same throw distance. There's still IPX4. But I don't know, this one here, I've never been totally happy with it. There's always been a bit of a yellow tinge to the light, and it's never been that bright. And the only way to get this in its brightest mode seems to be to faff around by pressing buttons and holding them to get the full brightness. Where with this one, as soon as you click on a couple of buttons, you're in full brightness mode. You don't have to faff around with holding buttons. And as you can see here, this LED, that's quite a big LED unit there and a good reflector. And if we compare with this one, I don't know, it's just that's definitely smaller. So this has got a much nicer light than this one here, which the yellow one's supposed to have 50 more lumens of light, but I can't find that. Just even with brand new batteries, replacing the batteries, I just don't seem to have as much light as this one now. So this will be the go-to light, and this will have to go to the backup light mode. But let's see if we can get them both on full power. So this one here has got 2 lights again, same as this one. They're not the best kind of light buttons for these. It's difficult to find easily. It'd be nice if these were a bit more protruded, or I don't know, have some better grip on them. But you press once and you get your red LEDs for night mode, and then you press twice and look at the output of that. Really nice. And that's all 3 LEDs lit. 1, 2, 3. And that is fantastic. Don't have to faff about waiting for it to ramp up, because the yellow one apparently slowly phases from, a reasonable light to full brightness over time. When you want a torch, you want it to be maximum. You want it to get going and use that full light. So that's all that one does. You've got the 2 modes on there. You can press it a 3rd time for a low power. So you've got red, maximum, minimum. And on the other side, you have just the spot. So that's for your full distance spot beam, and that's the middle one, as you can see there. So just that large LED is going for that one. And that's really impressive. If we compare with this one, again, remember this one, you can switch on, there's your light, but apparently this will take a while to fully get to maximum brightness. If you can press again, you get that beam, which is the wide. And then if you press this one, I don't know, you kind of get a low light. And when you press this and hold it, so if I go into on, hold that, you can see that phases down to minimum and back up to maximum. And you can do that in any mode as well. So if we do it in this mode, phase down, phase back up, and that's supposed to be that one. And again, 1, 2, 3 presses, all the way down and all the way up, and that's supposed to be its maximum brightness as well. And then of course the other button here was the red. You only get 1 LED for this one, and then you get a green one. You also get a flashing one as well if you press it again, as you can see. But there you go, green. And then back to off again. So let's just try and go for full brightness. So you'd assume if you press that one, that should be full brightness. It doesn't seem very bright, because if we compare with this one, I mean, you can see this is a much whiter light as well. But that even with the camera probably not showing, that is putting out a lot more light. And what we can try is if we go to phase down and then back up again to full brightness. That should be full brightness. Well, I just don't think that does that, especially when you go for your main beam, if you like. That is superior. So I'm just going to try going into the low mode, then bringing it down and then back up. That I find gives me the maximum brightness for this torch, but you can see even now this one is still far superior. And it's a whiter light as well, which is a bit more usable. I think it's a bit nicer on the eye. So yeah, so they're, I guess, slightly different torches, but I don't see how this one has 450 lumens compared to just the 400 on this one. I think this is a better buy. It's no more expensive. If anything, it's cheaper. So I would probably save your money. Go for this one, unless you really want the mode to be able to pick a power between maximum and minimum. I think you're better off with this. It's a much nicer light. You can choose a spotlight, or you can choose a flood of light, but I think that's better. Okay, so this is another test. Let's just have a look. So we've got the new one on the right here, that's 400 lumens, and then one on the left is supposed to be 450 lumens. So let's have a look. So I'm going to press from red, I'm going to go to the maximum mode. So this is all 3 LEDs. So this is supposed to be maximum light output. And this one, if we press it once, that gives me my 2 main LEDs. Well, you can see there, can't you? There's a massive difference. So with this one here, it's supposed to phase down and back up to give you full brightness over time, which I think is a gimmick. If you want a torch, you want it to be on full power. It's not really changed. So let's just go all the way down and back up to full brightness. And there you can see, not as bright. I think if you go into low mode, then phase down and then back up again, that does give you better brightness, but again, it's still not as much. So perhaps I have a faulty one, but this is better. Out of interest, let's just try it on the spot lamp. So this is just with the main LED going. Again, you can see that is still brighter. Yeah. So I really do think this is a better buy. It's a better light. It's a whiter light, and you don't have to faff about trying to get your full brightness out of this one by holding and pressing. So this one is the HDD323. So slightly different model name. So if you want to choose between the two, I recommend this one rather than this one, which is supposed to have 450 lumens. Go for this one. I think this is better. Less modes to faff about. The only reason you might want to go for this is if you want the green light, but if you don't, this is the pick. Thanks for watching.